This is not new. The only thing that is new, I guess I would say, is an even greater awareness and understanding of just how bad the Communist Chinese Party actually is, and the lengths that they will go to harm and injure their trading partners or anybody.
Well, you know what, folks? You never know who you're going to bump into on the lawns of Queen's Park, and I'm here with MPP Randy Hillier. Randy Hillier is, I guess, part of a group of 4 MPPs that have been kicked out of caucus because of not following the party line. No, Randy.
The Ford line, anyway.
That's true. Yeah, I know you drive a Ford, but I guess you're not following a Ford anymore.
I drive a Dodge.
Oh, it is a Dodge. Forgive me. Randy, we were here because just a few hours ago, if things had gone according to plan, the flag of Communist China was going to be raised right here in front of the legislature. There was the proverbial shite storm that erupted, and the government decided it would not go ahead. But it was, I think, Randy, kind of a lame way to shut down the flag raising, because they said, oh, no, it's not about the communist flag of China. All flag raisings are now canceled because of COVID-19 safety protocols. Can you believe what we're hearing these days?
Well, listen, I can say for sure, because I've been in the Conservative caucus, and this is not the first time that this has come up, and maybe we'll chat about that. But listen, this is clear to me. We know that the Speaker never agrees to these things without having taken into consideration and having discussions with government and understanding the political circumstances of the day. So when Ford threw the Speaker under the bus initially on this, it was wrong. It was deflecting culpability and responsibility. But, now we know that if we're not going to celebrate the Communist Chinese Party, we're not going to celebrate anybody.
Including America, like our largest ally, by according to these.
All our friends and allies, we are rejecting them, so Doug Ford and the Conservative Party doesn't offend the Communist Chinese Party.
Randy, why wouldn't you want to offend this Communist Chinese Party? Look at the trillions of dollars of economic damage inflicted on the world during this pandemic. Look at the 2 Michaels being illegally incarcerated and tortured. Look at their human rights record.
Look at the Tibetans. Look at the Uyghurs. Look at the Falun Gong. Like, this is a regime that has been engaged in oppression and tyranny against their people in China for 60-some years.
So why doesn't Doug Ford want to offend this regime?
Well, I'll refer back in 2009, when shortly after I was elected, this discussion came up, and I believe it was the 60th year of Communist Chinese rule, and it came up in discussion for the PC caucus members to attend and help commemorate the 60 years of Communist Chinese rule. And I was outraged. Outraged first that we were going to raise the flag on the grounds of the Ontario legislature. But second off, that we were going to have members, delegates from various parties, including the Conservative Party, to attend and help celebrate. And it was a very lively discussion.
Who was behind this, by the way, Red?
Well, I'll just say it was a lively discussion. And at the end of the discussion, I lost 26-1. Okay? And Conservative members went out to celebrate 60 years of Communist Chinese oppression.
The Conservatives, not the NDP, we're talking.
The NDP were there as well. The Liberals were there. I was outraged then. I was outraged again. But this is not new. This is not new. The only thing that is new, I guess I would say, is an even greater awareness and understanding of just how bad the Communist Chinese Party actually is, and the lengths that they will go to to harm and injure their trading partners or anybody.
Randy, 2009, which is when this anecdote dates back to, that was an eternity ago. Hong Kong was still vibrant and not being threatened. The Uyghurs, to the best of my knowledge, were not being rounded up into concentration camps.
It wasn't as bad, but there was the sterilization programs, there was the re-education programs, not to the same degree. Yeah. The Falun Gong were certainly, there was all kinds of reports about the suspected organ harvesting program with the Falun Gong, many Falun Gong in prison, the ongoing horrendous treatment of Tibet and Tibetans. Yep. Like those are all, those
were vibrant back then for sure, but all those other things, plus of course this global pandemic, as I said, that has inflicted so much pain, suffering, death, and economic damage on the world. 2020 is a different kettle of fish than 2009. So what were the Ford PCs even thinking?
Well, that's been one of the problems all along, is the lack of thinking. That's, and they react, they don't think.
And Randy, if saner heads had not prevailed, even though I think the excuse is bogus, what do you make of the fact that had this gone ahead, we would have had the flag of Communist China flying on the lawns of the legislature, and 100 meters down from that flagpole, the statue of Sir John A. Macdonald, our first Prime Minister, is entombed in a coffin with a garbage bag over his head so that ostensibly protesters with BLM aren't triggered to vandalism. What do you make of that?
Like, listen, our society has become exceptionally contorted, distorted. We've become pretzels through the last number of years, but exceptionally so during COVID. There is no critical thinking. There is no thoughtful evaluation or examination of what we do. It's just we've got a mob of fearful people running our province, running our country, and there's just no thinking going on. Everybody is their enemy at the end of the day in communist China, and if you're not the enemy today, you'll be the enemy tomorrow. And
we bend the knee to this, don't we?
Well, we've been doing it for a long time, and I have always found it outrageous that we would do business with people that we know we can't and ought not to ever trust.
Hey folks, if you can, please go to journalistdefensefund.com, and if you're able to, make a donation. Sometimes we incur fees when it comes to bringing you the other side of the story, but I think the end results are worth it.